how I heard about ALU. In my last year of high school, we were privileged to have ALU facilitators and some staffs come to visit our high school back in Kenya. And they were talking about ALU and all the good things or all the values that are instilled in ALU. And for a moment, I was not convinced because for me, I saw or I pictured myself studying in the United and not somewhere close to Mauritius. And I remember my friend convinced me, and she was like, you want or your dream is to become a leader. And we talked about the values that someone can get while studying in ALU. And I remember immediately after finishing my high school, I had a brochure that ALU members had left. And I started reading and digging deeper about ALU and learning the skills and learning its values and the community at large. And it fascinated me a lot, and I chose to give it a try. And why I chose it, I think it's because of the values that I learned or I had that gives. You have diversity because you have people from different parts of the countries where you get to share knowledge with them. You get to have insightful conversation about problems in Africa, because we have been singing this song all along about challenges facing Africa, but we are the leaders who are supposed to fix the challenges. And I think ALU, with its mission to have entrepreneurial leaders, will help, and that's why I chose it. The application process to ALU started, I think, right after high school. And I sat down in my room with a brochure that I had from ALU. And I remember logging in using the small phone I had and just finding out how the application was. And for me, at first, I found it easy. So I filled in my personal information, the things that were needed there. And I remember the next step was doing an IQ test. And I found it so fascinating because it was just basically about math. And I think I know I really love math up to date. So it was quite fascinating, and I was able to finish in a span of like 30 minutes. However, the next process of the application was submitting my national examination. And quite frankly, that I had just finished my high school. I didn't have my results by then. And I remember closing the application. I was like, it doesn't matter. And I waited until I got my results a month later. And I remember submitting it afterwards. But the next process again was writing essays, personal essays. I quite find it hard to write essays. And I remember so many applications that I had made to other universities. And I usually stop at the point of writing essays. And had given up about applying to ALU. However, there's a ALU staff called Faith who contacted me and was like, please submit your essay so that you may finish your process. And I was like, it wouldn't hurt to just find something to write. And I remember writing about the agriculture mostly in Kenya, and that is what I have now chosen to be my mission. And the process thereafter was quite easy. I was able to submit the financial aid. I was able to write also an essay, personal essay that was there. And I think one of the good things is that I had a mentor who used to help me in writing the essays. So my application process was a balance of both easy and hard when it came to writing. Moving into ALU was so exciting for me because I remember it was after a year of COVID and lockdown and just staying at home. And now you have the school had to charter for us a flight. And I remember all of us traveling together, meeting new faces, having a comfortable kind of environment. after staying an year of doing nothing and not engaging so much. And I found it exciting, the flying, moving out of Kenya, having to go to new places, a new country. It was exciting, I can't lie. But I was struck because immediately after landing into Mauritius, we had to go for a 2 weeks quarantine. And for me, yeah, I knew what quarantine meant, but in this case, you had to stay in your own room alone and not now interacting with people, not having someone to have conversation with in the room. And the first week was devastating because you had to like speak with yourself and have these thoughts all by yourself. The second week I kind of found it maybe engaging because I remember having now doing like other stuff to keep me entertained, and maybe getting out of the balcony, having some conversation and some chats with my neighbors who were there. And after that, I remember we were taken to campus, and now university life begins, and now you meet people, you make friends, you make connections, you have like conversation with everyone in classes, in orientation, and it was just a wholesome experience. The classes set up were quite interesting. Going back to where, from my high school experiences, we had a class of like 65 students. And now here at ALU, you have a class that's made up of a maximum of 25 students. It was quite shocking for me because that number was too small. And I quite understood why we were meant to have smaller classes, so that the facilitator that is for that subject is able to interact with each and every individual students at a personal level. Also, in addition to having the smaller classes, we were grouped into peers, where learning in ALU is just based on your peers and more of your individual work, unlike a lecturer standing in front and dictating for you notes and not understanding. An example of a work that I did was in leadership core. We had a whole module that was called projects, and in that we had to deal with real clients, and it assimilated the corporate work because we interacted with them, we pitched to them our ideas, and some of our ideas were implemented in some of the organizations out here. So it was a very exciting experience to have. Students who are planning to join ALU, I advise you to keep your hope high, to keep your applications going, because ALU is a community where it nurtures you, it nurtures your knowledge. You get to have conversations not only with your facilitators, not only with the staff members, but with your peers. You get to learn different things happening in different countries. And those bits of information are the ones that help you grow, that spark some idea in you to have a startup. You have very supportive community with your peers, very supportive environment to have your startups. You get funds, you get internships, you get connections and network, and it's a step to have you maybe accomplish your mission or your goal in life. So to all students who are planning to join ALU, please keep the applications, and I hope to see you maybe in the next semester, in the next year. Thank you.